to the death of A24. That's all we'll say about that. All right. The colors got me thinking. Grapefruit.
Interesting.
No.
No.
Then grenadine.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should know what's sweetening this.
The fucking honey simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think I would put two sweeteners in something?
I'm wondering what's giving it this color. I saw you take out the honey simple. I didn't know if you actually used it.
Yes, I did.
I don't know. Did you fucking do a bit of cognac or anything there? Chinchina? Benny Dickey? Okay, mezcal.
Yeah.
And honey simple and lime.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fucking fourth agent is.
It's going to be just some aromatics.
So it's a mezcal old fashioned
Pretty
with
much. With honey simple.
With some lemon in it. Or lime with some lime in it.
Whenever I make old fashioned with either tequila or mezcal and agave spirit, I just add a little bit of lime.
Yeah, what would you say, like a quarter ounce?
Yeah, nothing too much. And I think it offsets...
brings the spice down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it offsets the agave spirit
Mm-hmm.
because there's a natural sweetness to bourbon.
Yeah.
That while tequila and mezcal are sweet, they're not sweet in that way.
Right.
And I offset that with just a little bit of lime. They just pair so well with lime.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame to make anything with them without lime.
It's almost like they're just like sugary, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking, you know, bourbons and shit. Like there's like a sweet heat to that.
Yes.
Like innately.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, it's an agave spirit.
The heat of the tequila is different.
Right.
It's not the heat of a bourbon. It doesn't burn like
Mm-hmm.
that. And you need it to burn a little bit.
It just balances out a little more. I mean, because like an old fashioned is somehow a somewhat balanced drink.
Yes.
Despite not having a sour.
Mm-hmm. And this is how I balance it without using the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So I just watched Backrooms for the second time.
Mm-hmm. I watched for the first time.
We got to watch the extended edition.
Extended dick.
Everything Must Go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Which was just an end credit scene.
Yeah, it was just an end credit scene. I think we can talk about that at the end.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You want to go first?
I do. So I saw this around when it came out.
Okay.
My sisters want to see it. I think absolutely popping, like movie theater full of children, and the target audience for this. It is, I think, given its source material, targeting a younger audience. And I don't know. For a movie I've seen twice in theaters, which it's been a while since I've seen one, I would not have said that this would be it. And it just happened to be this one. And I'm not mad that I've seen it twice, but I definitely would not have gone out of my way to see it twice.
Okay.
I don't think it is a great movie. I think it is an aggressively interesting movie. But I am overjoyed that it has stayed in theaters this long. I mean, I saw it over a month ago. Mm-hmm. They have this long special edition, which is definitely the reason why it's still here. But even still, you know, its regular edition just ran out.
It's making dough
after a month.
Yeah,
like
we're here on a Monday night. Seeing an extended version,
and we were not the only people there.
It was quite a full theater. There were people sitting in the front row, the second to front row. Like it was.
Like there were people next to us.
Yeah,
we didn't have space to ourselves.
Right.
And it's also clearly not people seeing this special edition, this end credit scene, because most of them left before that.
Right. They just didn't get a chance to see the fucking movie.
Yeah.
This wasn't a second watch for a lot of people. This was like now's my fucking chance.
Now's my chance. And I think it is incredibly interesting, but I want to hear your thoughts. Initial thoughts now.
I think I have like two main chapters of my thoughts.
As the movie does.
Talking about the horror and the themes. That's kind of
Okay.
really about that's really where most of my thoughts lie.
I think we should start with the horror.
I guess it's genre and it's theme when it comes down. You want to start with the horror?
I want to start with the horror.
Okay.
I did not find this movie scary. This movie came out and Obsession at the same time, and I think Obsession is 100% more scary. I think that if I was to categorize this movie, I would not say it's a horror. I'd say it's probably a thriller. But even then, I'm not sure I feel exactly thrilled. There's a lot of intrigue in the movie, and like clearly it kind of wants to be a horror, but I don't think it is innately scary at any point. It's just, sort of jump scares. They're not even like jump scares. They're just like something happens fast. And you're like, okay, like the people who are going to get scared,
Right.
and people who aren't not, And I think in that way,
You can feel jump scares coming. Yeah.
it's not leaning too much into the horror, which I appreciate, because I don't think this is a movie that would have done well as a horror in its current state. But at the same time, how would you categorize this movie?
So there's like a sort of a pejorative term used to describe Marvel movies, mainly franchise movies as a whole. And I would say that given the extensive and topical recent nature of the source material of this, I would say that this is similar to a franchise movie in that regard.
Yeah.
Given that it is kind of not out of nowhere, out in the same way franchise movies are not.
It has source
Kind of
material,
like almost in the same way like the fucking Barbie movie was.
Yes.
Like that felt like a franchise movie in a sense.
In a sense, there is. We were talking about it in the theater, like these movies that have different sources of media tie-ins, like the cross media things tend to do very well.
Yeah,
like Barbie did very well.
That's kind of how you sell to producers is that you can do cross media.
They do cross media.
So the term, this like pejorative term used to describe these is theme park movies, right? And just like fucking rides,
yeah,
pretty much. And I would actually say that like the horror feels like when you're in like a scary part of a ride, like what is it in like fucking Universal, the Egypt ride or whatever. There's a kind
Mummy?
of yeah. There's kind of a scary part of that. There's a few scary parts of some of these, or like even like in the fucking Harry Potter ones. There's some kind of scary parts, and like it does how like shit pops out at you.
Yes.
And I'd say that and what is that? That's a thrill. That's a thrill park ride.
Yeah, a ride is thrilling.
Right, and I would say that this kind of feels like that, and I don't really mean that in a bad way. Like this, like I would describe the movie as fun. Like this was a fun fucking movie. But you're talking about like the horrors of it, and I'm not gonna lie. Like here's the twist in what I'm saying. There was a point in the movie where I was like low key having an anxiety attack. Actually,
all right.
It definitely like kind of got to me, and I like felt ill.
And you had to pull yourself out.
Yeah, like I actually like needed to take a deep breath because like I was feeling fucking sick.
Yeah.
We were talking about like our uncanny valley and shit like that, like prior to the movie, and the scene where Clark is in like the dining room,
with Mary.
Yeah. That's kind of where it all settled in. I wouldn't say that's where it hit that scene in general. I think that's where it all kind of culminated in some pretty intense horror feelings for me. And it was meant to be unsettling, right? And in the way that it was unsettling, it pulled on my feelings of like, everything seems like unrendered. It seems like not human, but almost human. And like the fact that it was like trying to be human.
Yes.
Like this uncanny valley thing. Like I was feeling like my human nature was attacked. And like so that's kind of that's where I was at in that scene. Like it actually was horrifying to me in like a way that made me feel like physically fucking ill.
Yes. So I think that scene is the conclusion of Clark's character.
100%.
It is the client, and I think.
I mean, if you want to get thematic about it, that's kind of where I was going to go with thematic.
The emotional climax of the movie. I think it is the point where the storytelling of the movie hits its zenith, and everything like else is storytelling of the Backrooms.
Before we go back onto that, I do want to talk about the horror still. Okay. That is kind of the culmination of the theme. That's pretty much where the entire themes lie.
Yes.
But anyway, like with the horror, a lot aside from that, that was really the only like that scene, and then the Backrooms. I knew what was going to happen there. We were going to get a Backrooms chase scene. I'm like, this is what we're going to get. That was pretty fucking horrifying too. And like those two scenes set themselves apart from the rest of the movie.
Yes.
In that their horror was actually not jump scares. No. Their horror was like
sustained intrigue. What's going to happen next?
And I think that it was unique. So like towards the end, we get her in the Backrooms version of the
Ottoman Empire. Captain Clock's Ottoman Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, his fucking furniture store in the Backrooms, and the evil pirate entity is just standing there in the background. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking throw up. Like this is like really hard to watch because like the horror is just like, honestly, I'd say it's unique and brilliant there.
Interesting.
Like you see like a distorted version of it where it's like, it's almost like your mind is trying to pull on that uncanny valley. You're like, you're trying to make sense of it. It's like, this just doesn't fucking quite work. Like the fucking math just doesn't really add up here. And like, yeah, it was kind of making me short circuit a little bit in like in a pretty fucking dramatic way.
Did you find the Backrooms version of Captain Clark, the little, lanky guy? Did you find him scary?
Yeah, I think so. I think not in like a body horror kind of way, like not in like a gore way, just in like a. I honestly think that that's kind of where the themes did play into the horror really well, and that kind of shows where great horror comes to be, where like you actually get the story to play into what you're showing. I think that the movie, honestly, like there was many small moments of this. This was just fucking 25 minutes of sustained this level of horror.
Yes.
Like you have the distorted woman and the man in the background, and like the fucking person in the wheelchair, all that, like all that. I fucking like had to.
It is
like
unsettling.
Like it was unsettling in a really difficult way for me. And it was hypnotic too, because it wasn't a jump scare, you know? Like this was just how it was going to be. Like like at no point I'm thinking, oh, this distorted female figure in the background is gonna jump out. Like I knew like she was just gonna stay there, and yet like having her in the background just like lurking there, it just fucking made me sick.
It put you on the edge of your seat.
It really did. Yes. And I think that was brilliant, and I think that the movie honestly could have done without its jump scares. I think the jump scares like kind of it was two completely different kind of, like you can have good jump scares. Like we're talking about theme parks, right?
Yes.
If you're on a theme park ride, what are you going to do? You're going to take me up to the sky, and you're going to have me look down, and you're going to hold me there, and you're going to drop me. Super simple concept, but it works.
Yep.
Okay? Can't blame me there. But it works. And
so, in this movie, the jump scares serve as a way to relieve tension.
They do. They actually do, yeah.
Yes.
They're catharsis. They're just catharsis.
And the theme park ride, there's no point you're relieving tension until you drop. Everything else is going to build up in tension.
It's pensive in anticipation.
And I think that's where this movie, the horror element the jump scares before that kind of hurt it, because the tension isn't building at that point. We're not wondering what's going to happen. We're like, okay, that just happened.
It almost felt like, it's like, I understand, like, they were kind of used as an element, because this, like, eeriness, it also kind of, it helps bring in the younger audience.
Yes.
It's harder to understand this sustained eerie horror that's kind of a bit more adult. The jump scares, that's simple, that's the drop, right? And like it's almost like those were kind of just peppered in there to like to work as like an engine.
Yes.
To sustain the overall tension of the story until we have this crescendo up to essentially just the final act there. With that, like I just still think that it would have been better overall. It wouldn't have appealed to its younger audience. I mean,
it needed to appeal to its younger audience. Unfortunately.
It did. But there was like that's fine. I think that like you make it kind of a kids horror movie, sure, but like it was like fucking those fucking moments at the end there where we had that was where I actually was shocked by the movie. I'm like, this is actually kind of some serious talent here. Like, this is,
it's not simple.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, it's a movie about this, weird internet thing. It's not.
Right. Like, and it's not just like you're building up tension. You got the heartbeat, you got the clocks ticking or whatever like that. Like you see in like, oh, something bad's gonna happen here. It was like, this just is. Like, this is just a scene, and it's fucking horrifying. And like, I don't know, I think there's some rarity there, and the way that it did it was unique.
Yeah.
I think that was brilliant. I think that was brilliant. I think that's where it had moments. That's where it almost passed over from fun into like, this is actually pretty fucking good. But I don't think it was ever designed to be that. You know, like, this has, like I was saying, it has extensive source material.
Yes. It
was still meant to be like a, yo, this is for fans of the concept, right? Like, let's just have it be a fun fucking thing.
Fun movie. Yeah, see this concept on the big screen.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what it was, and it was good for that.
And I think this movie kind of suffers from the fact it does have that source material. It does have the people that want this to be a simpler, fun time. This movie is clearly dealing with a lot of really weird and complex things. And it leans into this, sort of body horror, tension building scenes that aren't for the younger audience. The audience that is going to inevitably see this movie.
Right.
And I think, like,
I feel like it's more horrifying to this younger audience on a rewatch in their adult life.
Yes.
Like,
but the movie starts off and we get 30 minutes. We get the opening scene and then 30 minutes without anything in the Backrooms.
Right.
That's definitely not going to appeal to a younger audience.
No, you gotta have the little dream sequences where where there's just these jumps, right? Yeah. Like, where you're just anticipating.
And I think it's so odd that choice, because it kind of feels like they're struggling against what they're trying to be versus who they want to appeal to. I think that's where we have to go into themes.
I mean, like, 1 second on before we get into that, like, we're still on the production aspect of it, and like, with the production of these studio non-independent films, they want to ensure that there are these moments, like, they see it as a product, like, there's the artists behind the movies and the ones bankrolling it, like, they want a return on investment, and they're like, this needs to be, like, we know our target here, we know it works for them, we know that this fucking, like, 25-minute long scene isn't really going to be exactly, like, it's going to be kind of horrifying to them, but not in the way that we want. And
we need something to get them to that scene.
Yeah. So, it sucks, but it's like, it's how it is with major studio pictures, which that's where we're at with A24. This is a major studio picture. I saw the creative heads behind it in the credits. You had fucking Osgood Perkins. He's done some fucking bangers recently. The fucking detective movie, Long Legs. Gotcha. That was brilliant. He did The Monkey, which was, just kind of silly, fun, comedic horror. And I think he also did, like, Cuckoo. And then you have the fucking guy who did, like, all the Saw movies. I forget the name.
Yeah.
I recognize it on the screen.
Yep.
And, like, I know it because my girlfriend is a huge fan of Saw. And, like, he was, like, a producer on it. So, like, there are some big names behind this horror, but there are other bankrollers behind it that are like, we need to throw this in here. Yep. The director's also a 20-year-old.
Yep.
So he's like, she's probably like, fuck it, let's throw in some fucking jump scares just for fun.
Yeah.
And that's fine,
It's fun.
It was fun. It worked. It did its job to create a sustained tension. Yes. I just don't think I needed that. But its target audience probably did.
How do you think the target audience feels about the ending?
I mean, I feel like the ending is kind of anticipatory. And it's also at the same time a little ambiguous.
Yes.
With how it changes like that down into the Backrooms. I don't know, man. Like, I think that, I don't know. I feel like that question's kind of hard for me to answer because I don't know a lot of the lore.
Yeah.
I feel like if I knew all the lore, I could tell you how they'd feel about the ending. But generally, they seem to like it. I think I've seen some people where they were kind of displeased with how few references were made. Like they wanted their thing referenced.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, dude.
There wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of space.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, I was looking at all these signs. I was trying to hear the music. I'm like, this is definitely something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is like, you know, like when we would see I remember like you and I, we were in college.
Yep.
And we didn't really know each other. We were just like with a group. And we went and saw fucking Sonic 1.
Yeah, the first Sonic.
Yeah, yeah. We were just with a group, and it was a weird fucking group. Like, none of us really knew each other. We were just like, okay, this is who's going, and we're all in the same
We were
floor.
all extended parts of a friend group.
We were all like the ones,
the
the ones
edge.
who RSVP do it, and obviously I'm gonna go see a movie. And I guess you were always like, yeah, I'm gonna go see the fucking movie, and it was a fucking weird group. But anyway, at the end of it, like you like were talking about like you were like Googling a fucking street sign. And like you were like, okay, yeah, that's what that street sign meant in like the bottom corner of like this part of the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like why are you looking for that? And I had no idea about like your background with gaming and shit like that. I just thought you were some fucking psycho who is just like trying to find all the Easter eggs or something like that. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
No, I was in my Sonic heyday back then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How it just happened to be, and you're like, yeah, that's what the street name. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Could not tell you what it was.
Yeah.
But, yes, there were. The Sonic movie had hella Easter eggs.
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
Yes.
And like, I had no idea that you were like kind of looking for that.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't really reached an understanding to like be able to look for Easter eggs in a movie and to like know like, okay, this is the typical spots to look for.
Yeah.
Kind of a sidetrack there, but like, yeah, and and
It makes me wonder what we've missed in this film.
point is, I'm saying like there was a lot of like there was a lot of room for Easter eggs, right? Like we saw
There's a lot of rooms that he just passed through, or Mary just passed through.
literally
right?
rooms. Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
I kind of like I kind of recognize the music a little bit from my time experiencing this online and shit. Like I'm sure there was a lot of that. So to your point, like I feel like the ending almost wasn't for us, you know. It was kind of for them, and I think in that regard I would say maybe they probably really did like the ending. What do you think?
Oh no, I agree. This movie isn't exactly for us,
Right.
Even if we might be in like the target age range, we are still not.
We're not super online in this.
Yeah, we're not
sphere.
super online in this sphere, and we don't know the lore. We don't like all the lore I know is what I've seen.
Yeah,
And it feels quite ambiguous.
like
It
I almost
feels-
feel unqualified to talk about it.
Yeah, it feels
like,
unresolved.
Yeah,
Almost. And
but like maybe it is. You know,
Maybe
there's
is.
an implication there that everyone that knows about it understood.
it makes me just wonder about the concept of the Backrooms as a whole.
It makes me wonder about it as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a nice
So-
iceberg out there, iceberg video to watch.
Yeah, but so Clark in the dining room scene, he stabs the dude with multiple eyes. The dude doesn't bleed, right? Cool. That he is made from the Backrooms.
What are we getting on
clearly.
right now? Like, what topic are we?
I just don't. It's just something I don't understand.
Okay, something you want to explore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so immediately when Clark appeared back on screen, when Mary's there, like Mary's looking at the mural, Clark appears back on screen. I didn't think that was Clark. And it becomes known to me later on during that dining room scene that he's kind of just lost his mind a little bit. And
Yeah,
that
he
still
kind of
is
just went
Clark.
crazy. Yeah. That was kind of just like a common horror trope. It's like you went
So,
crazy.
Yeah, so he stabs a dude. Dude doesn't bleed, right? When Clark dies, he does bleed. There's confirmation for me. Like, cool, that is real Clark. And then when Mary's slamming the little hand stone into the big dude, he bleeds. Which makes me just confused.
I was wondering that as well. Like I did want to know like
He feels
what
like
is
a
the difference
different
between
entity.
these two. Yeah.
He's probably a different entity from the rest. He clearly has autonomy, which means the Backrooms is able to create
like why is
different
he
entities.
Why is he malignant? You know, like why is he hostile?
Yes, because clearly those others weren't. They were just there.
Right. I kind of had the same question, and like I chalked it up to there's either an answer or there's not, and like I'm kind of fucking indifferent otherwise, I'm kind of just gonna have to roll with it.
Yes.
Because if there is an answer, I'm probably not gonna search for it. But the fact that there was a question at all kind of tells me, like, okay, this movie clearly went pretty hard into its own lore to have, like, what's essentially a plot hole for you and me.
Yes. Yeah. So the fact that there is a question is good. It means the movie made me think. It made me try to figure out what's going on, and that is inherently a good thing to have happened.
So do you think good is in, like, good, like, good for who?
Wise.
Okay.
It's good for me, good for the audience, and clearly good for the film if I'm engaging with it. And, you know, maybe the answer is in the lore. And I think, you know, many of these movies with outside properties just kind of have those kind of plot holes that exist for you to fill in.
Right, the ones with the
source
lore.
Material.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of what we were talking about with, like, the transmedia thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of what I was going at, is, like, what do you mean good? Like, good in that regard?
Yes.
Like, because if it's in that regard, it's kind of like, it's kind of good for everybody.
Yes.
You know?
And I imagine the people that were, you know, watched this movie and got more invested than us and looked it up, that's great for them, right? Like, you want them to be going to, you know, whatever peripheral media is talking about this movie.
Unless it's like unless that's its actual intention. Like, you have in I think that, like, that can be good, and it can be really fucking bad, where it just becomes an advertisement for the other media.
But
so,
I don't
like,
think it is in this case.
like in Stranger Things, how, like, with the fucking cave, right? Where it's like, you want to figure out what happened with him in this fucking cave, like, make sure you watch the Broadway fucking play. Like, right? Isn't that what it was? Something like that? With fucking,
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do know what you're talking about. But
that was like we're gonna have questions here, and you're not gonna get them here. You're gonna have to fucking.
But that was everyone's worry with Marvel and all of their, you know, properties and just, you know, expanding out. Was, you know, you'd end up watching a Marvel movie and not knowing what happened.
Well, I feel like it was, like, kind of, you know, you're saying it's a good thing. And,
I think,
like,
it is.
I feel like it was kind of alienating. Like, it was, so, like, with the specific example of the, I don't want to talk about the lore for too much longer, but, like, with this specific example of, like, you have like, all those entities were clearly created there.
Yes.
Like, the man and the woman and the wheelchair person and the pirate, right? The pirate version of him. Like, why did that one have blood? Why was it hostile?
Yes.
Like, what did it do? Did it eat its victims and all that? And, like, the fact that these questions weren't answered, in that moment, I kind of just chalked it up to, like, storytelling convenience.
Yes.
Like, we need a villain. We need a hostile entity. Maybe some are hostile. Like, maybe its hostility creates, you know, sort of an internal organ of it all. Maybe the fact that, like, you know, he has his own angst in doing this that kind of creates an issue. But the fact that these questions weren't really answered at all for us, I wasn't really thrilled at that. I was like, this is like, let's say that there is an answer, right? Let's say there is an answer to the why. And the fact that was not told to us kind of
felt alienating.
It felt alienating. And, like, even if it wasn't like, oh, go fucking listen to our podcast on the Backrooms, even if it wasn't like that, it still felt alienating. I still felt like I wanted
unresolved.
I wanted this question answered. Like,
there are threads in this movie that are just not resolved.
Right, and it's just like, it's almost kind of pretentious to not talk about things that not the average person talk about, things like as though everyone knows it when you know the average person does not. So, like, when we're watching the start of a racing season, the first 3 races, the commentators say, like, they talk about shit that is totally common knowledge for us. Like, this is what the pink clock means. The pink clock means this is the fastest lap. This is what the tracking means in the qualifying. We know these fucking things, right? And
but they have to bring in
bring it up
who don't know.
Yeah, they bring it up because it's like, for us it's common knowledge, but it's kind of complex.
Yep.
And, like, even though it is fairly simple, if you don't know what you're looking at and no one's there to explain to you, you kind of have to really figure it out.
Yeah, anything can feel alienating when you're looking at it for the first time.
Right, with no one explaining it to you. So, you know, exposition is a fucking fine art in storytelling.
Yes.
And maybe they just kind of, you know, missed the pooch on this, and that's fine.
I actually think this movie does the little exposition does. It does very little, to
Right.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it does all of it very well.
I wasn't interested in too much exposition.
Yes,
yeah, like,
I wasn't. I don't think anyone was.
I didn't expect any.
Like
we're not going to get
clearly
answers
we're
here.
not the target audience, and we wouldn't have cared about the exposition unless it was done magnificently, which it wouldn't have been. And then, what do you think? The kids growing up with the Backrooms would have cared about the exposition on the Backrooms when they're seeing no, right? So and clearly
they
they
were
got
relying
that
on
right.
their pre-existing knowledge on it.
The one piece of exposition is like the dog, and I think that was brilliant.
Was this a PG-13 horror movie?
I don't know. I think it was rated R, actually.
You think so?
I believe so.
Okay.
I remember thinking that when my sisters were there. I was just like...
Because I'm comparing it to fucking FNAF, the first FNAF.
Okay.
And how, like, that suffered from appealing to its younger audience by being a PG-13 movie.
Yes.
We didn't see a lot of the major gore here. It cut away from it.
Yes.
Like in fucking FNAF.
Maybe not.
Right.
I remember thinking when I was taking my sisters there, because they're still in high school, and I was like... Am I the adult here? Am I the one? Am I the one bringing them to see the rated R movie?
Yeah. Like,
and maybe I was, maybe I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I don't think it suffers from whatever its rating was.
Yeah.
Clearly not. I mean, this movie is
I
doing
agree.
great.
Like in FNAF, I was like, I could have gone for seeing some gore here. In this one, when they cut away from the pirate biting into Clark, I'm like, I would like to see it, but I think you did a good job of not doing that. And
I
that's
don't
like
think
that comes
the
into
mo-
like doing low budget movies too. It's like you can't always show everything, so you have to imply it. And like the implication's also a fine art, and they did a good job with their implication.
I think this movie wouldn't have benefited from more gore.
Mm-hmm.
I think
this was an
it.
excellent cock, by the way.
Thank you. I wasn't too sure about it.
It sucked
but
it the fuck down.
yeah.
Do you know what you're going to talk about right now?
Yes.
Okay, hold it. I want to try your cock and let's talk about it.
All right.
Because I'm also cockless now, so I need to gain a cock.
You need some lubrication there.
So obviously you got Cal. We finished off the Mezcal.
We did. R.I.P. to the Vita.
R.I.P. to Del Vita Puebla Mezcal.
It's good. It's good. I think I might get a different.
All I saw was you
bottle
put
from
ginger
them.
beer in it. So it's Mezcal, ginger beer. I'm guessing lime. Did you just make a fucking mule?
So that wasn't ginger beer. That was club soda, I believe.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I wanted to make a mule, and then I went. I don't know if we have ginger beer.
We've plenty of ginger beer.
I just didn't know where it was at. So I went. All right. So ginger beer's sweet. So I put it in the honey simple
Okay.
and club soda, and then some lime and mezcal. And I think it works brilliantly. I think
So
you could use more honey simple because it doesn't really come through. But
Mezcal, bee's knees with lime instead of lemon and soda.
I think it's more like a Collins, like the
Oh shit, a Tom Collins.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tom Collins. Yeah, I think it's more like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mezcal
yeah,
and the honey
yeah.
simple. I think it's closer to that. I
That's
don't
pretty
think.
good.
Yeah, I don't think the
I mean,
soul
you just
of the
topped
bee's
it.
knees
You know,
is
like
here.
you didn't put it in a Collins glass, so it's only a little bit of like a mule in that
Yes.
regard. Like a mule does not have a fucking full can of
Yeah, it doesn't have all
ginger
of it.
beer. Yeah.
I like it. I think as the Vita's always done, these are pretty good. These are pretty good cocks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Vita's an excellent mezcal. Like, and I've been feeling it. So, GG to the Vita.
We'll see what we get next.
I don't know. I'm feeling Bozal, but anyway, you remember where you're at? Yeah.
Oh, definitely not.
I told you to remember where you're at.
Yeah, and I forgot.
Okay.
What's the problem with that? Okay, so I was talking about.
Let's not try to find it. Anyway. So, can we move on to the themes of it?
Yes.
We've been talking about like the audience appeal and everything, but
I
unless you have
imagine if
anything
we
more
were
to say
going to
there.
block this out, it'd be blurred lines across everything.
So, with its themes, I was wondering how its themes were going to play into the source material, and I was kind of at a certain point I was wondering if there was going to be a theme at all, because I actually was searching for what are we going for here throughout the whole movie until they spelled it out in that dining room scene.
Yep.
I was like, I kind of fucking don't know where you're going with this. And whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. But like, I don't really know.
I think that's on purpose.
Yeah, like, I'm like trying to figure it out. It's like
it meanders.
He's got the fucking shrink. I think it's good because retroactively it makes sense. It's like, okay, the signs were there. I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
You made a good mystery.
Yep.
Good job. I fucking couldn't get it. Like, I couldn't get it until they fucking said what the fuck is happening. Like, so you have it with, he's talking with the fucking shrink, and it actually took me a minute of thinking to understand how it relates to the theme. So he's talking with the fucking shrink. He's talking about, his issues with his fucking wife, and his failure to kind of grow his own life.
Yep.
And, create more of himself and have change. Mm-hmm. And I think change is like a big theme here, and like the future.
You shouldn't get trapped in a loop,
right?
Yes.
And like talking about your comfort zone, mm-hmm. right? That was like a big shrink word they used.
She was one weird shrink.
So when we're talking about it, like when we get to that fucking dinner scene, it really fucking spells it out in the same way that Shutter Island does.
Yes.
When he goes up and he talks to his shrink and he's like, this is what's fucking happening. It's like our only real moment of exposition.
Yep.
And it is just so blatant.
Yep.
Like it does spell it out for you.
Yes.
It fucking says it pretty much to a T.
Yep.
If anything, like it almost has to bring itself out of the story and writes it on, like literally spells it out.
Yeah.
And in that scene, I did get it. I'm like, okay, this is what we're going for. Makes sense, and it makes sense retroactively.
Yes.
I see the signs. I could have gotten this if I was a little more shrewd. Good mystery.
Yeah.
Fucking bravo.
I think it really benefits from the fact that you don't know what it's going for until that scene, because a lot of that scene beforehand was, Clark wandering through the back rooms. It's the intrigue of what the hell is happening here.
Yeah.
And it is sort of a mystery in that element, but there's no mystery to be found. It's more like what is happening,
right?
And he's figuring it out, and we, as the audience,
it was a technical viewing, like a theme park ride. Like it's like, where's the theme gonna be in here? Like I knew it was kind of gonna be, its focus was gonna be on its technicalities, right? Like it was like, this is gonna be a nice spectacle, and in things like that, it's really fun to search for. Well, you got to wedge a theme in there somewhere, and it's fun to search for, like, where are you going to make room for it? Are you going to make room for it at all? How respectful are you going to be to the storytelling?
Yep.
And, like, are you going to be respectful at all? Like, are you just going to fucking have a great spectacle?
I think this was pretty respectful to his storytelling.
I think it did, too, yeah. It kind of had a very interesting theme that played into its source material.
Yeah, I think its storytelling was very simple.
Let's talk about its theme, like what it is. So it's kind of in that scene, they're talking about the shit with his wife. It's like your fucking wife kicked you out.
Yep.
You're a fuck up. Like what is this fucking issue? Everything is everyone else's fault, and now you know it. And what are you gonna do? He says, "I am not going to change. I like it here."
Yep.
Like means he likes the familiarity. This just makes sense.
He is too comfortable in his current life, despite the fact he hates it.
Choosing the
easy way out,
familiar option
rather than going off and breaking from the norm.
Something new.
Yes.
Like just fucking letting familiarity consume you to a point where you can't have any growth. Okay. 1 second.
How's that cock taste?
It's good. So with that theme...
Hold on. We're on pause.
Okay.
I think that was the first cut we've ever made. Do you feel smooth, lubricated?
It's a little sweet.
Interesting.
I think it's sweet because I stirred the cherry in there.
Probably.
A little bit, yeah. The rhubarb is good.
I thought it would be.
With that theme of choosing to be consumed by familiarity, like after discovering that, I was in the position of like, okay, so this is where you're going for. Is this just a shoehorned theme, or does it actually make sense within the context of this setting?
Yes.
And I think it does. Like I had time to think during during the little Backrooms chase scene, like okay, let's like think
let's
about
let this idea marinate.
Right. Like what are we doing here? Like what is the Backrooms? Like how does the Backrooms kind of play into this with my limited knowledge. And I think that it's great because with my limited knowledge, with what the movie, in fact, with just what the movie fucking tells you in its exposition, it does make sense. Because clearly what these, what the Backrooms is in the context of this story is familiarity. Like we're talking about her home that was torn down. Right. And he was like, what is it? It's every place that ever was. Not like is. It's was. And it's and the fact that it has its distortion kind of shows like how memory functions.
The more you remember something, the less you remember it.
Yeah, like a lot of details are kind of strewn about. There is rendering errors in your own mind about like
you remember things differently from how they are.
Right. And I think that I'm like, and once I did that, I was like, cool. Makes sense, and that's rad. Like that's fucking sick. It's like, yes, your themes are about and how it ultimately was his doom. Right. He was like, it was so spelled out. It was like in like how it would be for a child's film. Like he was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose this. I'm gonna choose what I know. The familiarity. I'm gonna choose to stay in the past. It's like, what do I know? I know to be an asshole. I know to push people away and ruin fucking lives. This is how it was. This is how it's gonna be. And that's what
he wants the past to be the future.
Right. And that's what caused his death at the end there. Like in that fucking moment, it's like, yes, you did it. You made this decision, and it will end you. So I don't know, man. It played into its doom themes really brilliantly. Go on.
In the Backrooms, I think one of the parts where the Backrooms itself doesn't live up to its theme is in the representation of the past losing itself, of remembering something loses its definition. Because I keep thinking about like the thing sinking into the floor. That's not distortion. That's, it's placed wrong.
Perhaps it's like it's like that's how they're representing the whole Backrooms level thing, Yeah,
like, that's how they're representing it, and it doesn't quite gel with me. I think there might have been better ways to do it. I think that was a pretty simple way to do it, and it makes for some pretty fun set pieces. So I can only be so mad at that.
Right.
But I think it muddies that theme just a little bit. It makes it harder to get that theme before the dining room scene where they spell it out to you. Because
you're talking about how it's like falling into the floor.
Yes,
like how that kind of muddies it.
Like, I think it's pretty clear with the couches. They had like 3 couches there in a moment, and
falling into the ground.
Falling into the ground, and that's not how things are disremembered.
Right, we don't remember them as like falling into it.
Colors get blurred. Like we don't remember exactly how something is placed. It is not. It's going down.
It could be like this,
but it's the representation of it, and I understand that. But given it is a representation of an idea, it is hard to understand what it's going for without knowing what it's going for.
Right, like the not all the dots have something that they connect to there. Like it kind of, some of it does just seem to be perhaps an artistic choice. Like it does.
Which is fine, because I don't have a solution for this. Like I am sure that the solution they made will be 9 out of 10 times better than anything that could have been done, and it's probably simpler.
Right. Like this was a lot of it was probably just done once again to have something fun that looked cool.
Yes. And it's easy to see what is happening there. Like, why is the couch sinking? You don't know.
I think part of it made me think about like once again like authenticity. How you kind of can't really trust your own memory.
Yes.
And you can distort your own memory, like to a point where you actually do believe it, and that's not something that's like insane or hard to do. People misremember things all the time. I was kind of gathering it like from that regard, how you can make things out a lot worse than they can be. And trying to recreate the past always kind of comes out wrong.
Yes.
It comes out wrong and distorted in its own way. I think maybe like we're talking about the style of this distortion.
Yes.
It could be.
It is the representation of this
Yeah,
distortion.
it felt like how a computer would distort something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, I don't want to fucking like make
Maybe
it
it is a computer.
Well, yeah. like I use the comparison like it's like a rendering error, right? It looks like a rendering error. Like there was the wall vanity that like continued on, like it was an image that was stretched.
Yes.
You know,
but that makes more sense. Like things like a wall vanity that is stretched makes more sense than the couch going to the ground.
Like 3 couches falling into the floor. Yeah. I mean, you know, maybe there's something to it, you know, but we don't know. You know, like we're not part of the audience that would understand that.
Yes.
Like
maybe that's the stylistic choice they chose, you know, back when this was just an internet concept.
Because it's kind of just it looks fun, it looks silly, and I think that's
and you can easily
largely what it is. I did see something that someone said about the Backrooms. Like we're talking about the Backrooms lore, and they were talking about the rules, and the rules kind of seem similar to like vampire rules, where they're kind of just made up on the spot, and there's not a lot of reason for it.
Yep.
And the shit with like SCP, you know what I'm talking about there? Yeah, no. Like the shit there is kind of just it's kind of just what someone has decided in that moment. There's not really like an actual codex of these things. So it's more like your own decision. It's what you make of it, as with any fiction. It is kind of, it becomes bigger than you.
Yep.
It becomes bigger than its creator, and it is what you make of it. You know, I don't want to like make it a conversation about like AI and stuff, but I drew comparisons to it, like you know how it's like
it kind of feels like a computer when they're in there. It is it is auto generated,
and how a computer fails to really
understand
and generate it in the right way, and how it has its hiccups and shit like that. It's failures to generate. I don't think that's what they were going for, but that's kind of what I was feeling with it for a moment there, but I don't know, man. Like it hit the nail on the head. I think that the fact that the Backrooms do seem to be about what you know.
Yeah.
Another topic I want to talk about here, like kind of a big concept with it. So let's talk about how it takes place in 1990. So it's at the end of the 80s.
Yes.
Obviously, math.
Yep.
And like, why don't you do it now? Like, right, like, you know, there's it makes things a lot easier. You know, he doesn't have to pull his fucking phone out and take a camera. He's got to go ask the kid to go get a camera. But I think it's more than that. I actually think that it's a lot more than that. So I heard this concept from my theater teacher in high school.
Okay.
When we were dissecting a video of a play. And we were looking at different eras of a play. Like there was one that was filmed in the 70s. There was one that was filmed in the 80s. And we were talking about the one that was filmed in the 80s. And he was like, "What does this mean?" Like it was a scene of a birthday party.
Yep.
A child's birthday party, and the parents were in the background navigating an affair between the different parents.
Yep.
And so he was like, "What does this mean?" And it's like, it's greed. And how does this relate to the 80s? What are the 80s? They're Wall Street. It's Wall Street greed, fucking, you know, Black Monday and all that. And it was an era of excess creation and greed. So I think that actually plays really heavily into, I suppose, what the Backrooms are about and what the theme is here.
Yeah.
So with this end of 80s setting, like there was kind of an economic recession in the 90s.
Yes.
That, you know, the backlash to everything getting fucked up in the 80s, Reaganomics and all that. Like that's when we really started to feel the effects of this. What we see, like in life, it's kind of like we're living in the ruins of then.
Yep.
Of the 70s and the 80s. Like if we were to go to school, like most buildings were built in this era. We see like our downtown buildings. This is 80s architecture for a lot of these things. It's like we're living in someone else's era.
Yep.
Right? How it's it was better times, right? Like that was when the economy was fucking booming, you know. This was like
money was spent.
Right. Yep. That's kind of like, you know, what a lot of people refer to, like, let's get, like, you know, back to the good days, is when Everything seemed kind of great. There was excess. It wasn't really right though.
Yep.
It wasn't actually liquid. So I think placing it in that era of like of familiarity,
yep.
right? And like if you were like, it's funny, his shrink office.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately thought when he walked into a shrink office, I'm like, this is like a shrink office that I'd go to today. It's like this, like the fucking furniture is out of date. The fucking, everything is so fucking like tacky.
Yep.
Right? And yet it felt like when you go into an office building on the corner,
mm-hmm.
like, and when I mean an office building, like the ones that almost look like houses, not like an actual, I'm not talking about like a skyscraper,
yep.
like going into the suburban office buildings. You know what I'm talking about?
The Dunder Mifflins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It like, because that's when all of them were from. They were all
yep.
built in that era. They were all made in that era, and they still fucking look the same. Had the commercials and shit. It's all kind of like based off of like consumerism
mm-hmm.
and this excess greed that we all felt back then. Like we talk about, there's a lot of talk of like the early 2000s. It's like, let's look at the commercials from the early 2000s, how those were iconic.
Yeah.
And the same way that the commercials from the 80s were iconic.
Yep.
So I think it was a very, very purposeful choice to place it in the late 80s at the end of this creation and greed and consumerism where the world we live in today is that. Like, that's when it was new. And to us, it's just like, this is old and fucking tacky.
Yep.
Like, but it is
this movie
everywhere.
is in the past.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of get what I'm going at there.
I do.
Okay,
I did not gather that from any of it.
Okay.
I didn't think about the time
Perhaps
period.
your theater teacher didn't bring it up. Anyway.
Anyway. Maybe I was just thinking, like, he's hard on his life. He's using, box television.
Right.
Hilarious. Anyways, I moved on. Like, he has, an old beat up Beamer.
Uh-huh.
Hilarious. Move on. Like, I think that would be in character even if, it was 10 years, 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
From when it is. Like, he would be using the out of date stuff.
Uh-huh.
Still.
You didn't look into it any further.
I didn't look into it.
Yeah, you were just like, he's living in his office. He's fucking gonna use a box TV. I mean, like, what were you thinking when you saw like the dates then? Like when you saw like, oh, this is June whatever 1990.
So, I didn't remember the dates at the beginning of the film,
mm-hmm.
and then the ones at the end were obviously. I
took note of the cars. I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of a car guy. I'm like, that's an old Beamer. That's an old fucking wagon. Like,
yeah, no, I was kind of just looking at them. I was like, he has an old Beamer.
Yeah,
I guess he's just driving the car he's always had.
Well, I mean, like part of it was like he's supporting the implication is that he was supporting his wife on a department store ownership, like a single department store ownership level.
Yes.
Job, and supporting his wife to go through school and their fucking home all on his own. Bro, that's not today. Like that's like fucking Simpsons level, single income. Like this is not happening.
Fair enough.
To go to fucking law school is what his wife was doing, right? And she's not in a job.
Not cheap.
He's bankrolling it. It's his home. He drives a Beamer. Like,
he clearly wasn't worried about money. He was just kind of pissed off that he was doing it all.
And that he was sinking it all into her bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, his money was clearly tied up in her shit. As much as it seemed to be. I mean, it seems like part of it was probably his fault. It's like, no, you probably had enough money to do your own thing, mm-hmm. but chose not to.
He's choosing to support her to do her thing, then try to do his own.
Right. So you didn't quite see it then with the dates. So what do you think about my analysis of it? I mean, do you think I'm kind of on it or like what?
I mean, the corporate greed in that era is definitely always going to be prevalent. And like I said when you were talking about it, like the movie is in the past. It feels like it is from a different era, a different time frame. Like that, like the found footage of it all. Like the found footage doesn't feel like it's from this time frame because it obviously feels older than what we have now.
Okay.
And I thought of it more as, just an aesthetic choice. Storytelling just is easier back then. You need to get the kid to bring the camera.
Right. Because we don't fucking have one. I can't pull out my phone. Let's create a storytelling element here.
And I think it just made, a pretty nice commercial he had there. Pretty, by the numbers, exactly what you expect from that era. I didn't think about it too hard. Other than that, I think it fits into the themes of the movie. Like,
so you think I'm just kind of pulling on strings here, or like what?
No, it's clearly a choice. Like, everything is a choice. They don't just, decide these things out of nothing.
I mean, some of this clearly seems to be a choice for the sake of convenience.
I think it is more on the convenience side.
Okay, so not necessarily the symbolic side.
Yeah. But also, sometimes it just fits so well.
I think it fits in this regard. Yeah,
I think it fits.
I really do. I mean, I don't know which one of us is right here, but I do think that
regardless of who's right, it fits.
I think that, like, this is pulling on the style of the Backrooms, and I think the style of the Backrooms is like of this late 80s era.
Yes. Because they're talking about, like an office space that extends on. That doesn't really feel like an office space that'd be built today.
No, it doesn't.
That is definitely
one that would be built then, though.
Yes.
And yet it's not one that would be built today, but even though you and I are 30 years removed from that era, it would still be familiar to us.
It'd still be familiar
because
to
we're
us.
living in that ruin.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I think that it might not know that it's talking about these things, but that's something that I took from it. I think about the 80s a lot, and how it's almost like we're kind of living in that era. In a sort of an off-topic way. Yeah, like, so if you go out to a restaurant, like, you're gonna hear a lot of normal music. You will hear a lot of 80s music, like a disproportionate amount of 80s music from like I would say 30 to 40% of what you're gonna hear is from that era. And I think that's intentional because, like I said, like when you're at a restaurant, they fuck with your head. Like, the restaurant's designed to make you buy, right? And in that era, that was when they really started pushing, like, aside from the 50s, they were like, fucking, especially in that era, in the 80s, like, buy. Like, this is like, it is your fucking job as an American to consume.
Spend.
And playing the 80s music, it kind of almost like subconsciously continues that point where, like, yes, you need to, it's something that everybody knows, it's not offensive, like, it's what your mom fucking played going to work. And I mean, I love 80s music, right? But it's fucking really different from 70s music. Like, that's when it was it really kind of seriously became commodified on like this viral scale. So styling the Backrooms after that era kind of shows a lot.
Interesting. I agree. It definitely shows a lot.
Or even if you're like in a Walmart, it's gonna be like 80s music and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just living in the past. Just as, Clark is living in the past.
Right.
They don't want... We as a society, we don't want to separate from that.
Right.
And clearly Clark is not going to separate from that as well.
He chooses to, yeah.
Yet he goes into a familiar space and it becomes...
Like, what are Disney movies that, like, a 5-year-old today watches? Like, Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was made in 1988. Like, bro, like what we're consuming, like, even to the art we consume, is not of this era. Like, we're, like, literally looking at it like we're still, like, looking in the past. And I don't know if this movie was going for that, but I think the concept at least is subconsciously calling attention to
the past.
Yeah. To how, like, this is not now, and what we're doing now is trying to hold on to then.
We're not moving on. We're not creating something new. We're just
right. The economy has not been as good as it was since then.
Yeah.
Like, that's the fucking model. It's been fucking Reaganomics since then. Like, that still is, like, 60% of the foundation of what we base every market on was what decided upon then. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Like, you do, right?
Yeah.
Or am I talking out of my ass?
No, I know what you're talking about there.
What's funny?
It's just dystopian.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of hard to think about. But I think that's, whether it intends to or not, like, this is what the concept calls attention to.
Yes.
And even if it meant to or not. This is what we're fucking looking at on a Freudian level, I guess.
Well, maybe it's because, the society we're living in isn't moving on from this time, and then we watch something that clearly takes place in this time about, not moving on, about being caught in the loop. Okay. And of course, it's going to call back to our feelings on the 80s when it takes place.
How we keep wrapping it again.
Exactly.
It's like this
over
worked
and over.
Let's work it before. Let's fucking do it again.
And I wonder how well the 80s music is working now that it's been played for 40 years.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, it's still bangers. A lot of
I'm sure some of it still works, but I'm also sure some of it has fallen out of fashion.
Right. I mean, a lot, but like
the more you use it, the less it works.
But it's almost like it was designed to not do that. It's like it was designed to be timeless and inoffensive, appeal to everybody. Like it's and not ever really go out like the ideal product. Like really actually like moving away, like reaching the it's like the fucking word when like AI overcomes like the pinnacle or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The singularity. It's like reaching the singularity of when it focuses more on being a product than art. Like when we've reached that, it's 50-50 and now it's 51-49 and now it's more of a product. And like that's kind of really where it switched over.
Yeah,
like
the scales tipped there.
Yeah. And like you have like I keep thinking of obviously I'm really like whenever in my car what's on 80s on 8.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of some like new wave stuff like you have Depeche Mode and like most of their shit is really dark and like really fucked up and not for everybody, and their most popular song is their most easiest one to listen to, the Just Can't Get Enough song. And it's the same with the Beatles. Their most popular song is Here Comes the Sun. You get into the Beatles, you're gonna find some really fucked up songs.
That's true.
And so like the 80s is kind of like really we're like we're gonna fucking we're gonna have the bangers that like are gonna last forever and everyone's gonna fucking love and everyone's gonna love it forever, and we still kind of like use that same model today.
How long can something that was made in the 80s last forever?
It's still kind of going on, man.
It's still going on, but
right.
we're not 50 years on from the 80s yet.
We're not. It's still very well in fashion.
And who's to say how much in fashion will be in 100 years?
Right.
Like how long have jeans been around for?
Fucking long time.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you think they'll continue on, or do you think they'll fall out?
I don't know. I think with jeans, we're kind of getting off topic here.
Yeah, but that's time, Like,
you're right.
Do you think
you're right? Fashion will change to a point. Like even if it's like 1,000 fucking years, it'll change.
Yeah, music will change to a point.
Right.
And architecture will change to a point. Clearly, Clark is going into this, weird Backrooms area, and this architecture is probably familiar to him. He finds familiarity in the place he is in. Quite quickly, I might add. And
yeah, he does kind of move through with like.
Yeah, he's like this. This makes sense.
Makes the fucking map of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this kind of works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. This is where I
guess
exist.
what we're kind of circling here, like what we're like
getting to.
What we're coming to is just stagnation.
Yes.
Like you and I've talked about this when we're talking about like life and shit, where it's like this is the fucking enemy of life. Is stagnation.
Yes, life is change. We are going to grow
and
old. We are going to change.
To.
Our body is changing every day. And the more you try to resist that, the worse it's going to be.
Right. Well, I'd say it's a banger. I mean, do you have any more thoughts that you want to share on it?
So
or deviating more and more, but yeah.
Yeah, something about the characters. So clearly, for as much as this movie wants its main character to be Mary, especially in the first opening scene after the opening scene is Mary, and then it cuts to Clark, and Clark kind of holds it for the first half until the dining room scene, and it switches to Mary running through the back rooms.
Okay,
I think it's odd in that aspect. It kills off its main character for as much as it probably didn't want Clark to be the main character. And clearly...
You're talking about this chase scene at the end, yeah?
Yeah. But Clark is the main character.
Right. I mean, like, what she's being chased by is
a manifestation of Clark.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe he's just the villain in that aspect. But this movie doesn't really have one of those. Just it's a thriller. Thrillers don't usually have them. It's just,
It's great when a movie's villain is its theme.
Yes. And I find it's disjointed in that way. Like if you were to tell a computer to make a movie based off of the first half, it would make a completely different movie than what we got in the second half.
Okay.
And the same thing vice versa. Like, if we gave it the second half of the movie, what would it create before then?
We have a big tonal shift.
Yes.
And our character shift as well.
And the character shift as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't know
how to feel about it.
So here's how I feel about it. Like, we're talking about the transmedia storytelling aspect of this. I'd be like, this movie is designed to kind of have a sequel. I feel like that's kind of what this is about. It's almost on a cliffhanger. Like, where we just, like, at the end, we get this revelation that isn't really even really real about the company that's kind of monitoring the whole Backrooms, right? It's kind of built.
It's ambiguous enough.
Yeah, it's kind of built to be a setup, right? And in a good setup, you have your own character, right?
Yep.
So it seems like maybe it was Mary, right?
Yes.
Maybe she seems to be the overarching character of the entire story that's intended here.
Yes.
Like we don't really
cut away to something, it has to deal with her.
Right.
We're cutting away to her, childhood home, going through the levels of disremembering, and then they're cutting away to it getting broken, and she has a little fucking stone. It continues to go back to her.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
that's
we
where
get all the answers told to us about Clark's backstory.
Yes.
We kind of just get a few implications about Mary. Like, we see it. It's not said to us.
Yes.
And, like,
all the flashbacks are her.
Right.
They're not him.
I feel like the story could continue on with her more. I feel like her arc isn't even really continued. Isn't even really complete.
No, definitely
So,
not.
like, to your point of, like, the main character kind of switches in when she goes to the Backrooms there. Like, when that's her first time going in there, where it shifts to her as the main character. I think that is, like, it's almost like that's the end of the first act of her story in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not massively into that, man. I mean, it did a good job of it, of, like, creating a prequel, like,
it
to
makes it
her
more
whole
of a
thing.
struggle to figure out how the movie is pacing itself, how it wants to be, how it wants to exist, because it has, these two main characters, both of which are on different points in their journey, and it's kind of like the main character they chose doesn't have the plot with them.
Okay.
Like, if they chose, like Clark as the main character, I think makes the most sense for this movie.
Right, for this whole thing, yeah.
But he's not. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, his story ends.
Well, I think a really good example to compare it to, in a positive way, and that he is the main character, and it ends in a positive way how it relates to Mary becoming the main character, is Rogue One. All kind of goes back to there. So, who was the main character there? Fucking Jin and fucking Andor. Yep. They're kind of joint main characters there.
Yep.
Right? They both die. Mm-hmm. Who kind of becomes the main character after they die? Leia.
Yep.
It's kind of like you can't really make Rogue One about Leia.
Nope.
You kind of have to take a look at it from a wider perspective, and having Clark be the wider perspective in this presumptive franchise with Mary makes a lot of sense. I mean, we're talking about something that doesn't even exist yet.
Nope.
But, like, let's say
it's going to exist.
Yeah, let's say that it will. It'll be good. Like, it makes sense to have, like, that's why her story doesn't really feel complete. Like,
but that's why this movie doesn't feel complete.
It's not. Yeah.
Like, at no point is this movie a complete product.
Because our main character doesn't finish their arc.
Yes.
It's not a great thing, but, like, I don't know. It kind of
but it is what it is. It is as designed.
Yeah, like, it still feels good despite that.
I don't think you're seeing this movie for the plot.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. And, like, if you look at it from that objective standpoint, like, you blew it. You blew it. You didn't finish the arc. Fucking rule number 3. Like, finish your fucking character's arc.
But how many movies fail at half the fucking rules anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and just ignore them entirely. Like,
I think this one ignored it,
and, like, definitely ignored her arc.
I don't think it failed. She is more of a red herring and a question mark than.
You wouldn't say that Clark's the red herring?
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
No, not at all.
I mean, like, so we can both agree that Mary is essentially the protagonist.
Yes.
Like, the overarching protagonist.
Yes.
And
But Clark is stagnation. He's clearly stagnation.
But the fact that his when his story ends, that's when we really realize, yo, this is about Mary.
Yes.
So that realization kind of tells me that Clark's the red herring.
Clark is more a manifestation of this story's theme.
Okay. So we kind of realize that he is the
that he is not going to break the cycle.
Yeah, he's kind of more of a device.
Yes.
For the story. That's when we realize it.
Maybe that is a red herring because usually the main character has a lot to do with the theme.
But I still wouldn't say that Mary is the red herring there.
No.
Like so like maybe it's a red herring having her not be the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
It's weird. It's
very
fucking weird.
We'll see what they do with it going on because they're
the plotting of the movie is a very weird subject.
They made insane
here.
money. Yeah. Like there's probably going to be a sequel. It's kind of designed to have one, which is like it's a big like
letdown.
It's a big fuck you.
I
honestly.
love a self-contained story.
Yeah, and this is not. It's like there's more here. Fuck you, dude. Like
I'm really just trying. Like whenever I get a book, I'm trying to read.
The whole story.
A self-contained story.
Yeah.
I don't want to
finish it and be like, oh, I got to go drop another $8 on a fucking book.
It's not even drop another $8. I don't want to have to spend another 400 pages reading to reach Act 2
to wrap it all up with her.
Not even finish it half the time.
Just get more.
Yeah, just get more.
Just get more out of it.
Sometimes I'm gonna want more. Like the truly great stories are gonna make me want more.
Right. Like,
do I want more here? Not sure.
You got to make a steak.
But you can't.
Okay?
You can't make me want more.
I want a complete steak. Don't give me half the steak and say you got to buy the second steak.
I'd rather have Indiana Jones' first adventure and then his second adventure. And those are completely separate from.
Yeah, it's like just give me more.
Yeah,
just give me fucking more. And this doesn't really give more.
And that is what.
Side note: Indiana Jones. I found out that the second one, Temple of Doom, takes place before Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Or not Last Crusade. Not Last Crusade. It's fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first one.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. Very weird. Very weird. Whatever.
Deckard's a replicant.
Yeah. Whatever.
Deckard's a replicant. He's not a replicant. Not getting into that. Moving on.
How do you feel about the extended post-credit scene?
So,
apart from the calculus of it all,
we saw the extended version of the movie, extended Dick.
Yep.
Where, dude, I once again feel like that was not for us, and I feel like that was not necessarily for anybody. I feel like that was for the director, Kane Parsons, and his longtime fans.
Yep.
I don't know too much about his shit, but I believe, if I had to guess from what I do know, that seems like a high budgeted version of one of his YouTube videos. It seemed like it was for him.
Okay.
And like his own like actual style of how he did his Backrooms videos. Mm-hmm. Could be totally wrong on this, but this is what I think. And if I'm right, huge fan of it. Very stylized.
Very stylized.
Very stylized. Like, to a point where it's almost like it's not designed at all for
consumption,
for engagement. and that's kind of brilliant, it like to be able to mimic like a research video. That's pretty cool. It did a good job of that. Yes. It mimicked a research video. It got its calculus wrong, as we said. Moving on from that, like
math
it was
is hard, man.
Yeah, it fucked up its math. It's like, dude, that's not how math works. Like whatever. But to recreate like an actual like almost like a dissertation, like a thesis paper kind of thesis video was I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Like I liked how it was super stylized. What do you think?
No, I agree. I don't think it is for us. And I am sure
drink's
that
not there.
Is some,
Thank you.
But I'm sure that it is for the people who love the Backrooms and love this director. I'm sure that they got a lot out of this, extra 15 minutes. I'm sure that people went to see this little bit. And it is super stylized.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. It doesn't need to be engaging. if you're there watching it, then you should be watching it regardless of if it's engaging or not. Like, it doesn't need to be made for everyone. The people who want it are going to see it. The people who don't are not.
And it was kind of for him in that regard. It's like, it doesn't matter who's going to see it. This is my fucking thing that I couldn't add, and now I'm adding it because the theatrical run is over.
Yep.
The main theatrical run is over.
The main theatrical one is over.
Which means that the producers didn't fucking want it in there. And he did. It's like a director's cut.
But he got to the point, it made enough, and he was like, hey, I think it's money walking if we don't do this.
Right. Let me just throw it in there. My people want to see it. I want to see it.
I want to see it. It'd be good. And I think we've talked about this a lot, but not everything needs to appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
And this,
if anything, it can just appeal to its artist. Many great directors are like, I don't fucking care about my audience. I don't make movies for my audience. And like, this was his part where he's like, I don't make it for my audience. I make it for me. This part was for him.
Like, at the end of the day, when you tell a joke, if you're not laughing at the joke, then you failed.
Right.
Who cares if anyone else is
exactly laughing? Even if you look cool to not laugh at your own fucking joke. Come on, bro. Like, yeah, like you're making a fucking theme park, right? At that point, like, not laugh at your own joke. I mean, like, there's this I don't know if we've talked about it before, but like, there's like this sort of genre people are kind of glazing these days called like competency porn.
Okay.
And like, I think they talk about like The Social Network, how it's just like everyone doing like a really good job of what they fucking know, and like, not really failing. They only fail to like their own personal faults. And that part was kind of like competency porn for its own characters. It's like, this is kind of just like a scientific review of their own experience in there, and then it becomes kind of, it has the horror tones that kind of overlay it a little bit, like where it all goes wrong, but you're taken out of the horror part just to see it as its style, which is just like a paper, a scientific paper, That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, but would I have, sought out the movie just to see this 15 minutes? Probably not. But I'm sure someone did.
Right.
And that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's clearly a want for people to see this movie even without that.
Absolutely. It's just a good job of exactly what it is.
Yes. And I'm glad it gets more time.
I'm happy to see it. I mean, I would have wanted to see this. Like, if I had known this was in there, and I didn't see the version that didn't have it, I would be like, well, I'm not going to go see it for that. But it's a shame that I didn't get to.
Yeah, I'm glad to have seen it.
Yeah.
Like,
this is your second time seeing it.
Yeah, would I have gone out of my way to see it, now that I know that there's another release of it? Probably not.
Anything you notice on your second time around?
I think the horror elements don't hit as hard naturally.
Yeah, a lot of it's jump scares. It's anticipatory.
But I think the Backrooms of it all is pretty nice. The overall plot of it's really simple, so I'm able to really gauge, exactly what's happening.
Okay.
Like, really see, the scene, see how they did it. And I think all the production design behind this was pretty good. They built most of whatever they had here.
So you were able to look at it with an analytical eye.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, what you said, crazy. Like, I wanted to see it for what you were telling me. It's just like a technical masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, not too many sets that weren't really there. It seemed like most of these sets were built, and it was all connected in that way. Like, this was just a major Backrooms layout. Like, we all saw the thing where it's like they all got lost in it, or whatever. The interns got lost and all this shit. That's fucking awesome, man.
It's brilliant.
Like, you fucking made it. It's real.
I think
it's
that's
not
the
CG.
right way.
Yeah.
And
yeah, totally.
I will always appreciate something being done the right way.
Yeah, using practical effects, and that they made the Backrooms pretty much.
I'm glad they made the Backrooms. At the end of the day, they made the Backrooms.
Yes. Fuck yeah, dude.
And that's all I need.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
you could have done it in Minecraft, and I would have been like, fuck yeah.
It could have been a Minecraft.
It could have been a Minecraft, yeah. How long is it to mention Minecraft?
You just had to do it.
I fucking had to, man. It's all roads lead to Rome there. Anyway.
Usually when I'm watching something on the second time around, it's more of appreciation for the plot, and I didn't really get that this time around. There is some storytelling loops. I do enjoy that, especially with the dining room scene, which is probably the best scene in the entire movie.
Yeah.
I enjoy.
I compared it to that scene in fucking Shutter Island.
Yeah.
When he gets to the top of the tower, and that's gotta be a fucking like, that is like, that scene does exposition in the worst way possible. It tells you what is going on, and it has to convince you of it. And like, in the fact that it did it in the most brilliant way, like I don't know what to say to that. It's like, this is just beyond me. And I'm comparing it to that scene. That kind of shows just how brilliant that fucking dining room scene is.
And I think they set it up quite well. And even for, you know, a movie that's kind of just fun and the plot's a little bit secondary, it still was glorious. It, you know, led its way into its final little act and chase scene. That was still good. I really find the cardboard cutout hilarious. It's the same one the entire time, which is hilarious.
Of like the caveman or the Jesus, can't really tell. It's one or the other.
It's what it is.
Yeah,
but it's just saying, just, you know, switching languages. And there's just so many of them. Hilarious. And I think there's just a lot of heart behind this movie, and I'm glad that it was done correctly. And I think everyone can feel that.
Yeah, it was. This had something for everyone to enjoy, like a good theme park ride always does.
Like a good theme park ride
always does. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it was. It was
I think
good.
the moment,
you know?
you can get past the fact that there will be some jump scares is a moment where you can enjoy this movie.
That there will be jump scares, there will be things you don't understand. If you can accept that you're not going to get all this.
Yeah, just like when you get on a theme park ride, you have to get past the fact it's going to drop you.
I'd say it's a banger.
I'd say so too.
I'd say it's a banger. Yep. You know, there's a lot of A24 movies that are kind of not bangers, and this one was one.
This one definitely.
This was a banger. This one was one that is. This one was not.
I think it's a deeply curious movie.
Yep.
And I'm happy you've seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have seen it again.
It doesn't really like make me want to watch an iceberg video. I imagine a lot of people do. I'm kind of like, you know, what are we here for? We're here for the love of stories and movies, right? So we're going to take it at face value. We're going to take it as is. We're not going to look deeper into it. So with what we get with that,
even at that point, it is worth it.
All we get with that is still great. Yep. Banger. Awesome.
Glory.
GG.